If I could go back in time, there are 3 things I'd change about my calisthenics journey, and they could have saved me months of struggle. Stick to the end of the video because that is the most valuable lesson that I have learned throughout these 8 months. Hey guys, it's Tim. Today I'm going to talk about my 8 months calisthenics progress and some of the lessons that I have learned throughout these 8 months of training calisthenics. And throughout these 8 months, I have learned certain skills such as the handstand push-up, the handstand, the muscle up. I'm trying to get some other skills which are more advanced in the future. So far, these are the skills that I have mastered. And moving on, before I move on into the lessons that I want to impart in this video, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my closest friends. His name is Sherman. And let me describe Sherman for a while. He has a really deep voice. He's probably around the same height as me. He's like 5'6", 5'7" inches, 5 feet 7 inches tall. And when I first met him, he had a really robotic voice. I still remember the first conversation that I had with him was back then during the first semester of university. He went something like this: "Hey, my name is Sherman. Can you add me into the WhatsApp group?" I'm not word for word accurate, but at that time I thought it was really weird. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? Yeah, sure. I know. I'm gonna add you into the group. And little did I know he's gonna be one of my closest friends, mainly because he's also a really brain-rotted person like me. And yeah, besides that though, he's also the founder of the Calisthenics Club in the university that I studied in at that time. And it also went something like this. The conversation between me and him was where one day he just reached out to me and told me, "Hey, Tim, I'm going to start a calisthenics club." And I was like, "Yo, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and do it, bro. I mean, you're gonna leave a legacy behind if it's going to be really successful." And successful it is, even to this day. 8 months ago, he created a club around like 8 months ago. That's when I also started calisthenics. That's why I wanted to give a quick shout out to him in this video, because he's one of the biggest influence in terms of training calisthenics, in terms of incorporating calisthenics into my routine. And the reason why I am telling you this story is that my friend Sherman did not overanalyze or think too much about what kind of decisions does he have to make. He didn't second guess himself in terms of creating the club. And this ties to my first lesson that I want to impart to you. It is that don't overanalyze and overthink about what is the best workout split or what is the best method to get to your goal. At one point in my calisthenics journey, I was always using Ian Barsego's 2-set method. And at one point, I had a plateau, and I didn't really see any progress doing his method. I'm not here to say that Ian Barsego's method is bad. You know, I mean, every method or every workout split has their own time and place for everything, and it's very contextual, and you need to see how it fits for you, right? So I knew that this method wasn't going to yield me results at the moment, so I decided to change up my routine a bit so that I don't get stuck in this plateau. And after that, I decided to use Dominic Sky's 5x5 method, and yeah, it actually helped me become better at pulling more weights basically. And this also ties to my friend Sherman. At one point in the Calisthenics Club, everybody was feeling very uncomfortable because of the venue that we were having the sessions at, because one of the members puked after the session ended because the room was too stuffy. Therefore, my friend Sherman, he decided to move the venue of the training sessions to a more open area. And this also ties to my first lesson, where you also have to adapt. You have to improvise your method and your workout split to what suits best for you, right? Don't get stuck in thinking this is the best method and I'm just going to do it, right? If there's changes that you need to make, and if the methods you're using aren't yielding you results, don't be afraid to change it. That's the bottom line of the first lesson. And the second lesson that I want to talk about is that you need to choose 2 skills, one from the push and one from the pull. And this also ties to one of the experiences that I had when I'm joining the Calisthenics Club, because my friend Sherman also managed to convince a calisthenics influencer with like 10k followers to be the representative of our club. And he told me something like, "Hey Tim, I managed to convince a calisthenics influencer to join our club." It's like, what? No way! Like, really? Like, there's like 10,000 people he can respond to, and he chose to respond to you. That's like, it's really cool. And as a curious guy like me, when I saw that guy with the Calisthenics Influencer, I asked him, how many years have you been training calisthenics? He told me something like 8 years. And I was kind of shocked, like, what? I thought this guy's gonna like train for like 3 to 4 years, because there are still some skills that Calisthenics Influencer have not mastered yet. And to me, even of 8 years of focused training, he did not do any weightlifting. He was purely a calisthenics athlete. He didn't even do anything else. It was just pure calisthenics. And in those 8 years, he hasn't even fully mastered the skill. Therefore, it also ties to my second lesson, where I asked you as the viewer to choose 2 skills, one from push and one from the pull. And for me personally, I chose the handstand and the muscle up. And if you focus your energy on 2 skills at once, you're going to see much more progress than if you were going to focus on too many skills at once. Like, oh, I want to learn the handstand, but I also want to learn the handstand push-up, but I also want to learn the planche, the front lever, the high pull-ups, the muscle up, and all whatever skills that you can think of, right? But if you narrow your focus down to 2 skills, you're going to see much more progress. Or not, you're going to be a jack of all trades, master of none. But if you know Shakespeare, that isn't a full quote, so don't hate on me in the comments. The last lesson that I want to impart to you, the third lesson, is that I really wish I trained weighted pull-ups earlier. If I knew back then what I knew now, I would have just trained weighted pull-ups in terms of pulling, and also weighted dips if you want to add like the pushing skills, right? Because at one point in my calisthenics journey, I was just following random exercises that were recommended by those Instagram influencers on Instagram Reels, and I was just doing random exercises that were not giving me results. And I literally see no progress for like the first half of my calisthenics journey. And the second, after the half, 4 months of trial and error, 2 months of using the Ian Barsigo method, which did not make me see any results. And the last 2 months, I've been incorporating Dominic Sky's method. And that Dominic Sky's method is something like doing weighted pull-ups until you can reach 5 times 5. So if I were to just train weighted pull-ups at the start, I probably would have gotten a really, really good progress up to this point. And yeah, that's really all I have to say for today's video. Basically, to sum it all up, there are some things that I could have done better. Like, I wish I knew back then what I knew now, but it's in the past. However, I'm really proud of the direction that I'm going into right now, and I'm looking forward to the progress that I can see for the next 4 months of my calisthenics journey once I hit my 1 year mark. Sorry, a lot of saliva right there. And yeah, that's really all I have for you today. Thank you for listening to me yap about calisthenics, my friend Sherman, and the Calisthenics Influencer. And maybe I'm the Calisthenics Influencer as well. Look at this biceps, bro. Like me. Thank you.